full power drive unit in a lightweight chassis. Thanks to some exclusive world-first new battery cell technology, Giant claims that their Trance X Advanced E+ Elite is a bike that will offer you full power assistance with a fraction of the weight. Today, we're going to dissect this 44.5-pound Giant Trance X Advanced. So the Trance X is a 140-150 millimeter e-bike with a mullet wheel configuration. That means it's a 27.5-inch wheel out back and a 29-inch wheel up front. Giant went with that wheel configuration to offer nimbleness and cornering maneuverability out back and added rollover speed and smoothness up front. Overall, the theme of the Giant Trance X is to offer a performance but comfortable minded e-bike. And as I said in the introduction, one of the things Giant is most proud of is the use of the battery cell technology, which is allowing them to drop a lot of weight and offer a full power drive unit in a lightweight e-bike package. So how did they achieve this? They partnered up with Panasonic and are using what they're saying is a world first for e-bike application use of the 22700 battery cell, which have a higher discharge capacity. The size and chemistry of the cells also means that they stay cooler under use, which means less stress on the system, longer life cycles, and of course, increased range. So by using these more efficient cells, they were able to save about 2.3 kilos or 5 pounds of weight in this battery, which is nearly half. The old battery was just over 9 pounds. So that's a pretty significant weight savings and goes a long way into keeping this bike in that 44.5-pound range. Something else that's really exciting and Giant is proud to talk about is the manufacturing of this battery in their CO2 neutral plant. They are very conscious and aware of battery manufacturing, consumption, and what that means, and they are focused and working on ways to minimize impact, and one of the ways that they're doing that is through a new CO2 neutral program. This EneryPak 400 watt-hour battery helps drive the SyncDrive Pro drive unit, which boasts 85 Newton meters of torque and 5 assist modes that can be easily customized in Giant's ride control app. The Trance X Advanced has a pretty sleek and stylish cockpit. Obviously the one-piece bar stem combo is one of the reasons for that. Also the lack of displays and screens and buttons also helps in that. They have a built-in top tube display here, which is LED lights. So there are 2 rows of LED bars that change in color to denote which power mode you're in and also tick down as the battery life decreases. Up here on the handlebar, you've got their Ride Control 3 Ergo adjuster, which will allow you to pretty simply and easily push up or down to get into different ride assist modes. One of those modes is the Smart Assist mode, and that relies on 6 sensors on board this bike to best manage range, power, and overall battery life for you out on the trail. Now you can put it into that Smart Assist mode, and each of those 6 sensors from speed, torque, power, all that will go in to make very quick adjustments, so it will conserve battery on flatter, less demanding sections. However, if you round a corner and find yourself facing an unexpected wall, it will ramp up that power very quickly and allow you to have all the assist you need to make it up the climb. And for riders who don't want to just rely on that Smart Assist mode, maybe you really want to eke out every bit of mileage or performance you can. Once again, you can get into that app and very easily customize the power delivery and reaction time and assist of the drive unit in each of those modes, right? So it's very easy to change the bike if you're gonna go out for a big 50-mile day and you want to maximize that effort, or if you're gonna do big punchy climbs on a race day and you want to have fast, instant power to get you up to the front of the line. Giant's offering their Trance X in 4 sizes from small up to extra large. We currently have the size large, and so we will get into the geometry on this bike and let you guys know where it stands. There is an adjustable geometry flip chip here, so you've got a higher low position, and we'll read you those numbers off in both of those settings. The reach on our large is 400 to 487 millimeters. Stack height sits at 625 or 619. There are 447 millimeter chainstays on all bikes across the board, and the bottom bracket drop goes from 0 to 10 millimeters depending on if you are in the high or low position. Overall wheelbase sits at 1,244 millimeters. Head tube angle sits at 65.8 or 66.5 degrees, and the seat tube angle sits comfortably at 76 or 76.7 degrees. Overall, we would say that it is more on the sporty or lively end of the Geo range. The head tube angle may be a little bit steep for some of the more gnarly and aggressive riders, but there are other bikes in the lineup that would probably better suit you. Of course, you could possibly increase travel up to a 160 fork, and that might be exactly what we would do if we were to keep this bike for the long term. Giant will be offering 4 versions of this bike with prices from $6,000 up to $14,000. We are currently testing and riding the top of the line model, which has got no expense spared when it comes to components and gadgetry. We've got the Fox live valve suspension, the Zip Moto wheels, which are some of our favorites. If you've seen our review on those in the past, we'll link that down below. They're not the lightest wheels, but they offer an incredible ride. And I think by ditching live valve and these wheels, the true weight weenies out there could save a bit of weight, but that's another topic. So moving out from there, you've got SRAM Axis drivetrain. It is not the new T-type derailleur, which could potentially be a deal breaker for some of you guys, but guess what? It still shifts and goes through the gears just fine. So for us, not a deal breaker. Personally, our choice would be one step below. We haven't traditionally been live valve fans. However, we really took a lot of extra time to get it set up on this bike and experimented a lot and grew to like it a bit. I think for some riders out there, they'll probably enjoy the performance benefits and attributes of it. But I think for most of our crew, we would probably opt for the step below, which would still get us really good suspension just without the fancy live valve components. So moving into the brakes, you've got the SRAM Code RSCs. Really nice attention to detail by Giant. They've got the oil slick hardware all on here. It ties in really nicely with this kind of marbleized purpley blue paint job that's on there. I personally really like it, although I'm a fan of purple. Overall though, a really solid bike, a good spec. Like I said, the live valve is something that I think our staff would probably opt to save money on and not go with, but it does offer some very real benefits for those eking out performance, speed, and time. First ride impressions, obviously, our Dissected videos aren't long-term reviews. They're not intended to be, because we just turn these videos out quickly to get you guys an inside look with the help of the brand to kind of showcase some more detail and features about these bikes. But we have been riding it quite a bit in preparation for our lightweight SL e-bike shootout that's coming very soon, as well as for the filming of this feature. And I would say the big standout for me is fast. This bike is fast. I can't deny it. It is incredible how quick it is on the trail. Obviously, the steeper head tube angle will find some limitations on really steep terrain. However, the agility and maneuverability on even at high speeds, right? Like where we were filming today, I mean, this is a trail where you're regularly averaging 28 to 36 miles an hour on very fast, high speed, high desert terrain. And there's a lot of corners and quick moves at speeds, in the 30-mile-an-hour range. I never felt skittish on this bike. It does well under brakes, right? I mean, you're having to shut down a lot of speed and quite a bit of mass pretty quickly here. And the bike stays composed. I think, the live valve, as much as I talked about it in a not so positive way, it does a good job, right? The bike stays level and planted. The braking and suspension work together to keep traction down, especially out here in the dry desert sand. Climbing, very comfortable. I would say there was a couple of pedal strikes I had today, but overall the 85 Newton meter drive unit right, is incredible for a lightweight or SL category e-bike, which I don't totally know how this bike fits in that category, right? Because when we were talking about weight at 44.5 pounds, it's only about a pound more than the Fuel EXE, which is one of the most popular and competitive, you know, lightweight, you know, half fat, whatever you want to call them, e-bikes. So the weight is down and it is low, and the power is high, right? It's up there with full power e-bikes. And we put in a pretty solid day today, a lot of elevation in, you know, full power the whole time, and we've still got 2 battery bars left. So I think Giant's done a really good job. I think that battery power and that 22700 cell really does do what they're claiming, and only time will tell. So you guys will have to unfortunately stay tuned for a long-term review, but we're not bummed about that because this bike is a lot of fun to ride, and we are going to look forward to putting lots more miles on it. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys very much for watching. We appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions about this bike, anything that we missed, or you'd like us to explain a little bit more, please leave those down below. We'd love to get back and engage with you guys down in the comments. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you out on the trails.